What if I told you that one of the biggest housing builders in California isn't a developer at all? It's homeowners, regular people turning garages into rental units, building backyard cottages, and quietly adding thousands of homes every year, often with better returns than many traditional real estate investments. And here's the 2026 twist. California just keeps making ADUs easier, more valuable, and potentially even more financeable, while costs and timelines still trip people up. Today, you'll learn exactly what an ADU is, the major types, what they cost in California, how long they take, why Los Angeles became the ADU capital, what the data says about rent and affordability, and what 2026 signals for the next wave. California's housing shortage isn't news. What is news is how much of the new housing is now coming from ADUs, accessory dwelling units. These are legal, independent living units on a residential lot, meaning they have the basics: a kitchen, a bathroom, and a sleeping area. ND ADUs have gone from niche to mainstream because state laws have increasingly overridden local restrictions. The result is what many people call the backyard revolution. So if you're a homeowner, an investor, a builder, or just someone trying to understand where California housing is going next, ADUs are no longer optional knowledge. They are central. Let's break down the major ADU types in California, because your cost, timeline, and ROI depend heavily on which one you choose. Detached ADU. This is the classic backyard cottage, a standalone unit separate from the main home. Pros: maximum privacy, clean design freedom, strong rental appeal. Cons: usually the most expensive because you're building everything: foundation for exterior walls, utilities. Attached ADU. This is an addition connected to the primary house, like a new wing or above a garage. Pros: can share infrastructure and reduce some costs. Cons: design constraints and structural integration can get complicated. Garage conversion ADU, one of the most popular in practice. Repurposing an existing garage, attached or detached. Pros: often faster and cheaper because the shell already exists. Cons: upgrades can surprise you. Insulation, plumbing, electrical, seismic, and sometimes drainage. Internal/interior conversion ADU. This is inside the home's existing envelope, like a basement unit or converting a large suite into a separate apartment. Pros: uses existing structure and often existing utilities. Cons: layout limitations, sound separation, and ensuring a truly independent entrance. Junior ADU Jadu. This is a special California category, a small unit up to 500 square feet carved out of a single-family home, with an exterior entrance and usually a kitchenette. Pros: typically the most affordable, often fastest path, very strong ROI on cost. Cons: limited size, and rules are specific. Only one Jadu per single-family lot. Modular ADU built off-site, delivered as modules or panels installed on your property. Pros: predictable build quality, potentially shorter on-site construction time. Cons: total cost can be similar to custom builds once you include transportation, crane, foundation, hookups, and site work. Now that you know the types, here's the big question. How did California go from almost no ADUs to tens of thousands? The growth is not gradual, it's explosive. California ADU permits jumped dramatically after statewide reforms kicked in, from just over 1,000 permits in 2016 to many thousands immediately after the first major changes in 2017, and then up again after the 2020 era streamlining. By 2022, the state was permitting around 25,000 ADUs in a single year. Even more important, ADUs are now a significant share of all new housing in California, roughly 1 out of 5 new units in recent annual permitting. And while permits are not the same as completions, completions have also surged. The trend is clear. ADUs have become a mainstream housing pipeline. A common concern is, are these really helping housing, or are they just short-term rentals? Surveys show the majority of new ADUs are used as real housing, long-term rentals, family housing, caregivers, multi-generational living. Only a small minority are being used primarily as short-term rentals, and that matters, because it means ADUs are quietly increasing housing supply in built-out neighborhoods without major new land development. Now let's get practical: money and time. Typical cost statewide. A widely cited benchmark is around $150,000 median build cost for an ADU in California, often landing near $250 per square foot, with an average size around 600-ish square feet. But the range is huge. Some projects come in under $100,000 mini land, under $200,000 detached custom builds, can exceed $300,000. Los Angeles and the Bay Area often run above state averages due to labor, materials, and site complexity. Typical timeline: most homeowners should plan for 12 to 18 months total from first idea to move in. That includes design and planning, permitting and plan checks. A few months, sometimes faster, sometimes slower depending on backlog, construction, conversions. Often 4 to 6 months new detached builds. Often 8 to 12 months prefab can shorten on-site time. But your total calendar can still be months due to manufacturing lead time and site prep. Rent and returns. Median rents for ADUs commonly land around $2,000 per month statewide, with local variation. Small units often achieve high rent per square foot if you run basic math. Without overpromising, an ADU can generate meaningful yield. Rent can offset mortgages, it can become retirement income, it can house family now and become a rental later, and there's a second value lever: property appreciation. Adding an ADU often increases resale value, sometimes substantially, because you're adding a second living unit and flexibility. Simple checklist: cost, often 6 figures; timeline, often 12 to 18 months; rent, often meaningful; value, often increases property appeal and appraisal. But here's the key: ROI depends on controlling cost, choosing the right ADU type, and not getting surprised by utilities, site work, or permitting delays. If California is the center of the ADU movement, Los Angeles is ground zero. LA went from almost no ADU activity to thousands of permits per year after the post-2017 reforms. In certain recent years, ADUs became a dominant share of LA's residential permits. So what did LA do that worked? Standard Plan Programs. Los Angeles has supported pre-approved and standardized ADU plans, so homeowners can start with designs that already meet code standards and reduce uncertainty. Programs linking ADUs to affordability. LA also experimented with programs that connect homeowners with vetted tenants, often seniors or voucher holders, making it easier for homeowners to rent responsibly while supporting affordability. Policy alignment. LA largely followed state direction, reduced obstacles, fewer parking constraints in common ADU scenarios, and better by-right pathways. So why put 2026 in the title? Because the ADU market is moving from a novelty phase into a systems phase. Here are the 2026 signals to watch. ADUs as a normal housing product in many areas. An ADU is no longer weird, it's expected. That changes everything: contractor specialization, pricing models, appraisals, and buyer demand. Financing models keep evolving as ADUs become more common. Lenders and appraisers get more comps, and underwriting becomes more confident. That can unlock better financing options over time, especially if ADUs can be reliably valued and rented. Ownership and separate sale concepts. California has moved toward allowing, under certain conditions, the concept of ADUs being sold separately like condos. This is a potentially massive shift. It's not flip a switch and everyone does it, but it points toward new ways to create homeownership, not just rentals. The platform ecosystem is maturing. We now have tools and marketplaces that help homeowners answer: can I build an ADU here? What will it cost? How do I permit it? Who builds it? That ecosystem reduces friction and increases adoption. If you're considering an ADU, here's a straightforward way to think about it. Step 1. Choose your why: rental income, family, housing, aging in place, or caregiver suite, property value, and flexibility. Your why determines whether you prioritize privacy, speed, or cost. Step 2. Match the type to your property reality: garage available? A conversion might be your fastest ROI. Large yard and long-term rental plan? Detached can be premium. Need lowest cost entry? Consider a JADU or interior conversion. Step 3. Underwrite conservatively. Assume you'll spend more than the optimistic estimate. Site work will add cost. Timelines can stretch if the project still makes sense under conservative assumptions. Then you're in a strong position. Step 4. Think like an operator, not just a builder. Plan for tenant screening, privacy and access, noise and separation, utilities, metering strategy. Long-term maintenance. ADUs have become one of California's most effective housing multipliers because they're scalable, distributed, and politically easier than large new developments. In 2026, the opportunity is bigger, but so is the need for discipline. Choose the right ADU type plan for real cost, and time use the growing ecosystem of plans and tools underwrite like a professional, because for many homeowners, an ADU is not just a build. It's a second housing asset on land you already own. If you want, I can turn this into a second video that's purely tactical, a 2026 ADU budget template, a timeline checklist, and a step-by-step permitting roadmap for Los Angeles versus other California cities. If that would help, comment ADU 2026 checklist and tell me your city.